All right, welcome back to BeerFormers. This is episode 28.
Yay. That's a lot of shows.
When we started this a year ago, do you think we'd get this far?
No, I didn't think we would.
And I'm proud to announce, as of the taping of this one, we are at the 275 subscribers.
Oh my gosh, we're so close to that golden 300.
I mean, we keep getting more all the time, just slowly trickling in, which is okay. And we're just excited about it. We're excited about it, all the people who subscribe. So thank you to all who subscribe to us and watch and both this and our sips, our shorts about what's new in the collection. We're just really happy to bring it all to you and hope you're enjoying it a little bit. So today for our 28th episode, almost the 25th, 28th episode, we're going to be talking about a special team of Autobots, okay, that came out in 1987, and they were unique in two ways. Yeah, two ways. Okay. One was that they were Autobots who turned into monsters. So their vehicle form is that of a monster.
Okay, and we've talked about this before, how ridiculous that is.
I know.
I'm already dubious.
So they were like an Autobot special ops team, that had various things about it. We're going to talk about it in a second. Yeah. The second thing is there were other Transformers that came out around this time that all had this thing in it. I guess Hasbro got a good deal. This is pure speculation, my point.
On a mold or something?
No, on Sparkers.
What do you mean?
Because these three Autobots all have the ability to shoot sparks.
Oh my gosh.
Okay? And there were several other toys that came out around the same time that also had that little feature. So
how many shirts got caught on fire?
I mean, it wasn't like it was a new technology. It's like, oh my gosh, let's incorporate this into toys. But they did several toys that had this, and these three were these are the Autobot Monsterbots. Okay? And there are three of them. So let's go ahead and show all three of them real quick here. First up, we have Double Cross.
That's a good name.
Interesting name because it sounds like, when you double cross somebody, it's a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't really go along with a good guy, right? But that kind of goes along with the theme with these guys. So they're Autobots, but because they turn to monsters, they've all got some sort of
got a dark side.
Yeah, they do. A bit of a dark side. So we'll get to each of these one at a time here. Then we have Repugnus. Because he's repugnant.
It sounds like a monster that Godzilla would fight. Godzilla versus Repugnus.
I like it.
Thank you.
You should make that happen. We'll talk more about these guys each one as we go through them. And finally, we have Autobot Grotesque. Not grotesque.
Yeah, because he's probably an elephant or something, right?
He's got tusks. Okay. So these three. So they were sold separately, but they were considered to be a team. They had very little play in the comic books and the cartoon, especially the cartoon. They'd had a little more play in the Japanese media and stuff. But by and large, they've always been kind of like background characters. And so they haven't had a lot of in media. In more recent years, because of IDW Comics, they've gotten some more play because they've kind of...
I see.
When they were still had the Transformers license, they like to kind of pull these obscure characters and give them a little more airtime, whatever. But there they go. So... let's go ahead and go in order here. I know you want to get your hands on these so you can start transforming.
I do.
So let's talk about Double Cross here real quick. Okay, so Double Cross is going to transform into a two-headed dragon.
Do they form like one
No, they do
thing?
not. They are just a team of three, but they do not form anything else.
It's kind of heavy.
Yeah.
Is it just all plastic?
It's all plastic, yeah. By this time, die-cast metal was pretty much out.
But it doesn't feel light.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, a lot of the plastic back then was probably a little denser because they made it thicker for whatever reason. I don't know if that was because we found ways to use less plastic nowadays. We definitely have, by the way. Now that I'm thinking about it, you buy a modern toy now and they have a lot of air spaces on the back to try to reduce the amount of plastic they use.
What it's supposed to do here.
But you like that. So if you notice his hands.
Yeah, these are his heads, right?
Yeah, those are the dragon heads. Let's go take the gun out first.
Yeah, you always take the gun out.
So the hands are going to become the dragon heads. Okay. And if you look on the back of his wings, you can see his dragon arms.
Yeah, so...
And if you see poking out here on these little black things on the side, that's his dragon legs.
Okay.
He's got to basically find a way to expose all that stuff so they can kind of get out there into the open, and you'll have
it. All right, here comes the leg.
So, Double Cross, his function... remember that we talked about tech specs before, and
do those go down like that?
Yeah, but that's basically what it's going to be. He's got to find a way to flip them forward because everything's got to go forward now to be able to use it.
Look at that!
Yeah,
look at that!
Yep, you're getting somewhere now. He's a supply procurer. That's his job. So his job is to get supplies.
Okay.
So how that made someone think of a two-headed dragon, I don't know.
He's like Red in Shawshank Redemption.
Sure, he's the guy who knows how to get stuff, right? His bio is such that he has the two heads, right? So he basically has two personalities to go along with two heads.
So is that right?
That's basically correct. I mean, but no, he's got to have a tail. You see the tail pieces, right? So how are you going to make those become a tail, right?
That's a tail.
So you've got the basic idea, but you have to somehow make that become a tail. But they talk about how in this guy, if you talk to one version of him. He might not necessarily have talked to the other one, so he's like forgetful because you made a deal with one guy, but not a deal with the other guy.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right, that must go like this. Keep talking.
Keep talking. Yep, and you got the. You basically got it. Yeah, that's right.
Oh my God.
Yep. So you kind of make him so he can stand a little bit or something now as a dragon.
Check that out.
So supply procure. He's infamous for having a strength of 1 on his tech spec, but most people agree that's a mistake. He was probably supposed to have a higher strength. 10. Yeah, he's supposed to be pretty strong. But some people have leaned into that, made him really, particularly weak in physicality and stuff like that. He's being reissued. We might talk about that someday. So on his chest, it's going to look like a saw blade here, right? It kind of vibrates a little bit. Ooh, cool. On the back here is a button. If you press that rapidly.
Oh, is that the sparker?
You go faster than that.
All right, here we go. Ready?
It might not even work anymore. There's a couple sparks shot out there. Not a lot. Probably won't show up on camera. I think I see him up there a little bit. Yeah. So if you look, so for whatever reason they didn't make it so it came out the dragon's mouth. It's probably too hard. So a spark shoot out of his chest.
That would have been cool.
But yeah, be here kind of.
I don't know how you. Oh, there. Ooh, I can totally see it. Yeah, there it goes.
You can see those in the camera.
That's pretty cool.
So all these have that because their gimmick is the sparker.
Okay.
Okay. So that is double cross.
All right. Where's his gun go?
The gun. That was one of the drawbacks about the early ones. Is that a lot of times accessories had nowhere to go when they were transformed.
So I'm sure that
most modern toys have rectified that. They have somewhere to stick it on there. Yeah. Like you can put it in his hands, which is the dragon's face. When you
got these, did they come with the weapons, or did you have to buy the weapons separately?
I don't recall. I've had these for so long. I think I got them all as a set. It was rare for me. It had to be something like a really good deal for me to be like buy it without parts, because
I just wondered how hard it would be.
The secondary parts market, if you're a Transformers collector, you can attest to this. The secondary parts market is redonkulous.
like really pricey.
Like I'm going to make up numbers here. Let's say I buy this for $40.
Yeah.
Okay, it's probably worth a little more than that now. Let's say I buy this $40. This easily could also be $40.
Yeah, well, that's how they get you.
That's how they get you. All right, so next one we'll go to. We'll go ahead and go to Repugnus.
Okay.
Repugnus turns into like some sort of like insect monster.
I know I've seen this one on your shelf because I'm like, what is that thing? All right. So just some sort of monster. Is that what it says in the box? Some sort of monster.
They clearly didn't like base it on something like, oh yeah, we're going to copy X creature exactly, So the designers were a little more freeform to be able to do that.
Okay, I see like various arms here.
Yeah, you probably want to take the gun off again too. It's usually the first thing you want to do.
There's the gun. All right, boom.
Get that out of the way. So Repugnus, his characterization is such that he's basically, no one knows why he's an Autobot. All right? He's extremely violent. He relishes combat. He relishes defeating his enemy. He likes to get up close and personal with his enemy when he takes him out.
The lamentations of the women.
They talk about how he gets, like Conan. They talk about how he gets fired from the Autobots all the time, but they call him right back whenever they need someone to do a dirty job that no one else is willing to do. But so that's Repugnus. So he's like basically like a special ops. He's like your Jason Bourne type Autobot. Let me give you a little hint on this one here now. So these covers on his legs, those are going to slide up.
All right, I had one
to get him out of the way. To then kind of expose the insect legs. Those will be the main legs. His robot legs are his insect legs. Okay. So slide those red things all the way up.
Here we go.
Yep.
Okay.
All the way.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Monster legs.
Yep. So let's see, you got him twisted here a little bit, yeah. Okay, so these little things that form his chest are his insect monster arms. So they got a little claw that folds down.
Oh, I got it.
Yep. And those are going to be out and kind of like like that when he's fully transformed. And the robot arms, you got to fold his fist away. The fist has to go away. You kind of get the fist will fold down into his arm, I believe. You're just trying to push it, but you got to fold it.
Oh.
So there's an empty space there. Yeah.
Okay.
If you've never really transformed a Transformer, a lot of times, and this is no way a slam on my wife here, but there's little hints about where stuff goes because there'll be like a random like cavities. Oh, something must have to fold into that cavity or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Oh boy, they did not imagine there would be somebody.
Ready for you to step in a little bit here now? Okay.
So, like me with no intuition.
So that's the back of it, right? Okay. This is the front. You kind of have his legs go forward a little bit. That little bounce to him.
And there's his head. He's got
as far as his arms go, they just kind of fold back like this. So you basically you were like 95% there.
Yeah.
And that's basically.
Where's the spark?
I'm sorry.
I didn't.
The gray part should be facing forward. The spark. Oh, you mean a spark?
Yeah.
Like say, as a Transformer fan, when you say Spark, my brain goes to his soul. I'm like, well, they don't really put souls in these guys yet, as far as something you can see. See the button top of his head? Yeah.
Oh, it's
and this one actually shoots out of his mouth.
That's cool. Yeah. I would have been all over that gimmick as a little kid. If I'd seen this on a commercial, I totally want that from Sam.
Breathe real fire.
Even though I didn't have any other Transformers, I would.
You can have him stand up completely straight if you want. Okay. I think he looks a little more monstrous if he's a little hunched over. Totally. But that's repugnant, right? Yeah, very. And lastly, we got Grotesque. All right. So you want to take his gun off, first too.
He's got a double barrel.
And memory serves right. I think it's actually a little bit easier to take his wings off initially than put them back on because they kind of get in the way.
I got to take them off.
So you got to gently, pull them off. There you go. Kind of wiggle them back and forth. They come off. There you go. All right. So this one's going to become like a saber-toothed tiger. Oh, I see. A winged saber-toothed tiger monster, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
There.
So that's the monster head. Yep. So you got you see his claws there on his wrist. Yep. Now, he is categorized as like a military strategist. So he's like the smart one of the group. So he's the guy who's going to come up with plans. This is something they didn't develop until later years, like nowadays with the modern movies where the Transformers just see something new and they scan it and can start turning to it. Back then, it was kind of like assumed that whatever your form is your form for the most part, right? There wasn't a lot of changing of forms unless there was some sort of major thing that happened, like a total rebuild or things like that. So why he has this monster form was never really told to us, but he recognizes it as being monstrous. So he likes he's a joker. He kind of like, oh yeah, I'm ugly, but what are you gonna do about it type of guy, So he makes self-deprecating jokes about himself, but he's really smart at coming up with strategies and stuff at the same time too. Yep, you figured that all out. Good job.
Thank you. Yep. My intuitiveness is growing stronger by the minute until I said that. Now it's gotten. Oh, this leg has to come out. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep,
those were his back legs. And he's designed to stand solely on his back legs, so his front legs kind of are out like he's going to get you still.
Oh, like this?
But,
like that?
Basically. One last thing, this is super intuitive. You kind of fold that back like that to kind of have that.
And then where do the wings go?
The wings go back in their spot, but you want to have the
head down,
head down more.
Oh, and I know where the sparks are going to come out.
Yep. You want to put the wings back on?
Yeah. They go right. Whoop, sorry, buddy. Okay.
Look where you're putting it.
Like that, right?
No, they came off this spot, so you're going to go back in that same spot.
Let
me go all the way around.
Of course it did.
Yeah. Because you're about to put it on backwards, so that's what I was hoping you'd notice. So the wings would be pointing forward and something like that. But you figured it out. Good job.
Does that track with me? Absolutely not.
Now, he is one that can hold his gun in
that's cool.
Animal mode.
All right, are we ready to spark?
Yeah, so you want to get there. Really
fast. His mouth moves too.
Yeah, his mouth chomps a little bit when he does it.
Oh, yeah.
Can you get any sparks?
Oh, yeah.
These are pretty old, and I've never even tried to put these like flint in there because that's what it would take, right? Yeah. Like a lighter. So
we should take these camping and try to start the campfire with them. It'd be super cool.
If we can pull it off,
everybody'd be like, "What are you people doing?"
If we get the gun out of the way, it might be easier to actually make a spark too.
Yeah, look at that noise.
The faster you get it, the more sparks you get. Yeah. So that was it. They were Autobot, kind of like. I would say a special missions team, but really he's the one who's most like a secret agent who's willing to get his hands dirty. He gets supplies, but he's got two brains, so double personality. And he looks horrendous, but he's,
very thoughtful.
Friendly, thoughtful, and kind of oh, we forgot something.
What?
Here.
Oh, does he have a piece of...
He's got tails.
Oh.
And we forgot to fold those out. I just saw them sitting here, so they kind of...
He's got two tails?
He's got two tails. Yep.
Nice.
Two little bitty tails poke out the bottom there, yeah.
But again, I have to go back to why on earth would their other mode be a monster? Because that's not going to fit.
The only thing I think it was is that they were riffing on the Dinobots. The Dinobots turned into dinosaurs, but we haven't done them yet. And so these guys are like, well, we'll have another team where they're monsters,
Yeah.
But
when you're a kid, you don't care.
You don't care.
When I was a kid, I was like, dinosaurs? That is awesome. I wasn't thinking... Everybody would be afraid of them because there's no such thing as Jurassic Park.
Why would there be dinosaurs running around all of a sudden when they've been extinct for millions of years?
Yeah.
And we're starting to see the beginnings of the garish colors starting to come into play.
They're coming back?
No,
they're coming
with these toys here.
Now.
By 87, more and more of the toys are starting to come out with colors that don't necessarily make a lot of sense. Especially when you're talking about, you're trying to disguise yourself, So it's bad enough you're a saber-tooth tiger,
Yeah.
flying saber-tooth tiger monster.
Do you think they did that because they did like focus groups and kids were like
attracted to bright colors?
Yeah, or was
it's probably literally
or was
all
it because it was the 80s and we, like towards the end of the 80s?
But by the time you get to
Generation
Generation 2 is notorious for having just super garish colors, you know. And so that was
still
about 4 years off.
Yeah,
and G.I. Joe went down that route too.
Yeah.
So just the Sparkers, they did not have a Decepticon version.
Oh,
which is rare. Okay,
yeah,
a lot of times they'd have an Autobot version. They could do this. There'd be a Decepticon version of this. The Monsterbots were unique in that regard. They were the only Autobots that were like sort of a team like this that had the Sparkers. Now there was another set of toys which we'll do in a future video that also threw out Sparks, and there is an Autobot and Decepticon version of that.
Okay, but that's
not
the
today. Not the Monsterbots. Yeah, these guys did have a role in like the Headmasters comic. They introduced them because they came out that same year. In the Japanese cartoon. I've alluded to the Battle Beasts, which were called BeerFormers in Japan. If you don't know about Battle Beasts, look those up sometime. But they were a spin-off thing of Transformers. And in the cartoon where they were introduced, it was a Japanese episode of Headmasters. These guys basically kind of stayed behind to kind of help the Battle Beasts out with their battles, I guess because they're already kind of bestial. But that was basically kind of what...
Your headcanon is strong.
This is not headcanon.
Really?
It really happened in the cartoon. Yeah, in the cartoon, I'm making an assumption as to why they were the ones that stayed behind.
You're adding backstory.
Yes. So
which is cool.
I guess that is a form of headcanon if you get to it. So headcanon cheat. All right. So let's quit talking about Transformers. Let's get to adult beverages.
More drinky.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll go grab the beer we're going to talk about today.
While you're grabbing that, I'll just talk a little more real fast here. So these three have all been reimagined recently. They were reimagined during the years of the Titans Return line that came out in like 2016 or so, like that. Memory serves me right. So all these guys got a new version, but they didn't spark anymore. But they all had a head that could come off that could become a little figure. So they all became Headmasters, even in the end, which is kind of interesting because they came out in the year the Headmasters came out for real. So we might do those remakes eventually someday too.
Fun history, Dave.
Yeah.
Those things are cool.
So what beer are we talking about today?
Okay, well, today we're going to focus on Illinois' largest independently owned brewery, Revolution Brewing in Chicago, Illinois. The name of the brewery comes from, at the time, the revolution in the beer scene that was happening. There's kind of a little bit of a, shrinking in the beer industry going on now, but that's cool because the innovators are gonna,
markets ebb and flow.
Yeah,
hot idea, everyone catches on to it. And they glut.
But innovators like Revolution are gonna stand out in that field. So today they produce dozens of different beer styles annually. This includes IPAs, porters, pilsners, Belgian style ales, pale ales. And they have a lot of barrel-aged beers. That's something they're really well known for. They have different lines that they do.
Yeah, I got you one, not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before.
Right. Yeah, from their barrel-aged.
The wood series.
Yeah, they call them Deep Wood.
Deep Wood
series.
Yeah, no pun intended.
So Revolution was founded by Josh Death, or that could be Deeth, who learned...
I hope it's Deeth.
Yeah, he learned the beer business by cleaning kegs and scrubbing tanks at Golden Prairie Brewing, which is no longer with us. And later on, he worked as a cellarman and brew pub brewer for Goose Island. So
also up there in Chicago, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So he always had this dream of starting his own. And after a few false starts and some fundraising and some hard work renovating a beautiful space, he and his wife, Krista, and some friends opened Revolution Brewing in 2010. And they have grown their brewing capacity ever since, including the purchase of a production brewery on Kedzie Avenue in Chicago in 2022. And they offer tours, and they have a tap room at the Kedzie Brewery, and you can check their website to see the dates and times that those tours are offered. And when you go there, you can get beers on tap, and you can bring them home in cans.
Full disclosure, have we visited Revolution yet?
We have not visited the brewery itself
yet. But we do have. We've had several of their beers, and we've liked them all. So.
Well, and that's the thing. They've got a pretty good distribution range for an independent brewer. They are actually being distributed in Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Ohio, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Nashville, Tennessee, New Jersey, New York City, and Wisconsin. Wow. So, which is why we've had the pleasure of enjoying a lot of them. We especially love, they've got a great series of IPAs. Anti-Hero is one they're really well known for. I think that's probably one of their really big flagships. The one that we're going to be trying today is in their seasonal line. And it is called Fistmas.
Fistmas.
It has one of the best cans that I've ever seen.
Why Fistmas, Noelle? Because it seems kind of a weird name, especially if you're...
Well, because the fist is like one of their symbols.
Because the revolution.
Brewing, yeah.
So.
And this is a red ale with ginger and orange peel. Okay, and it's 6.5 ALC. So... on the can it says full festive flavors for jolly joyful jingles. Well, we'll see about that anyway. But here we go. So apparently Santa had too much of the Fistmas and somehow lost his red suit somewhere.
He's in a barrel in the front. We'll put a picture of the can, obviously, like we normally do, but you'll see what this can looks like.
Look at that. Now that is pretty.
It's very much kind of an ale, isn't it?
Well, it is. It's a red ale. It's exactly like they said. Look how red that is. That looks very juicy. Beautiful head there. I'm going to smell it.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know. I'm bad at colors. I'd say brown,
yeah,
but it's a reddish like.
It smells very grapefruity to me. So I know it says that it has ginger and orange peel.
Yep. Yeah, Santa's going in and out of the chimney without a shirt on. Santa's wearing a barrel like you used to see in old cartoons.
Oh, that is.
Like a lot of Christmas ales. There's a lot of flavors going on.
Oh, so many flavors, but not like nutmeg or cinnamon-y.
Right.
It is definitely more on the orange side, but that nutmeg gives it a nice little spicy kick.
Pumpkin spice.
Yeah, it's not a pumpkin spice. So, but that'll warm you up. This would be great to drink when you come in from sledding or a snowball fight, building a snowman. But it's refreshing. So if you're thirsty,
they tend to put this out every year, correct?
Yeah.
I thought I remember seeing it before.
Yeah, around Christmas time, just one of their seasonals. So I don't know if every year it tastes a little bit different, kind of like Shiner Cheer does.
Do they play with it a little bit?
I don't know, but anyway, that is very enjoyable. So and every Revolution beer we've tried, we've loved. And I can't wait to actually go to their brewery and tap room to try it on site. And I want to get a big flight and try lots of different kinds because we've had one of their barrel age, we've had a couple of their IPAs, now we have one of their seasonals, and their newest beer that's just out. Let's see if I can read this. It's in their Hero IPA series. It's called X Hero Juicy Rush. So. That's the latest and greatest to be looking for out there. X-Hero Juicy Rush. Yeah, and that's in January 2025. So depending on when you see this, just always go to their website and check out what they have. They've got a great website. They're very big on sustainability and won a lot of awards for their beer. So anyway, this is really good. So if you can still grab some of this before the season is over.
They're trying to fight the power, by being a revolution in beer, just like the Monsterbots are trying to fight the power, especially, Repugnance here. Yes. They'll be told what to do by nobody. So, it's a good match. Maybe not so much the Christmas aspect of it, but there we go. So, very cool. Very cool. Cheers again on the Fistmas.
Yeah.
And thanks for the people who got it for us, which will be our in-laws.
Yeah, my sister and brother-in-law. Thank you very much.
Julie
we appreciate
and John.
it. Yeah.
So as we always kind of start to wind up here on BeerFormers, we'd like to mention that if you would like to know more about the Monsterbots, I'm pretty sure, I forgot to recheck this one, but I am reasonably sure that Chris McFeely has a video on at least one of these guys or the whole group.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I remember seeing the one for Repugnance, but I'll be probably exactly wrong about that. But go check out Chris McFeely. He's got the basics on lots of different Transformers. So even if you don't want to know anything about the Monsterbots from him, you're still going to enjoy a lot of those videos. Go to tfwiki.net if you'd like to find more detailed information about these guys. That's the best place to go on the internet, in my opinion, if you just like some general, some knowledge about the Transformers specifically. Without it being like news-based, things like that. So, Chris McFeely, the basics on tfwiki.net. If you'd like to know about any other Transformer that maybe I have in my collection, drop us a line and we'll be sure to try to highlight that as soon as we can.
And as always, if there is a beer or a whiskey or any kind of spirit you would like for us to try, drop it down there in the comments. We're always happy to look for new things to give a shout out to on our show.
We haven't had a chance to go to a new brewery in a little while, mostly because in our neck of the woods, we've been kind of snowed in for most of January, for the most part. It's finally starting to thaw here a little bit, but that's kind of exciting. Well, so cheers to Revolution Brewing.
Cheers.
As we like to say as we sign us off here, make sure you play responsibly and drink responsibly. And once again, thanks for watching us here.
Meets the ride.
Woo.